Let's talk about the old days. Back in the 80s and 90s, metal discovery relied on tape trading, word of mouth, and the rare radio or TV spot that would even touch it, like Beavis and Butthead and Morbid Angel.
Cool.
Or Ace Ventura and Cannibal Corpse.
Thank you!
Bands would get big label advances and have teams for everything: production, mixing, marketing, business management, tour booking, and more. And you always heard about things like Morbid Angel spending $100,000 on a music video. Not confirmed, just a rumor, but there were plenty of stories like that. You did not have to make TikToks or be a Twitch streamer. You could just focus on being the artist. Sounds amazing, right? Well, in some ways it was, but the grass is not always greener. It also meant that there were a lot of gatekeepers making it super difficult for you to get in the door. And once you did get in the door, there would be seismic pressure on what your music should sound like, what your band should look like, and a whole lot of waiting around for other people to make things happen for you. And what if your label decided that you were no longer a priority? Well, you might not get your next recording budget, or maybe the marketing budget would be cut, or you'd get dropped or shelved. And if you haven't heard of getting shelved, it's probably the worst of all the possible label outcomes. It's when your record would be finished, like you do the whole thing, ready to go, and then it would just never come out, aka shelved. And if you weren't one of the few who made it into the label system, well, good luck getting good recording. You basically had to go with whatever you could afford, and it usually was some dude in a yacht rock band recording metal because he needed the money.
It's perfect sitting down dancing music.
Also known as yacht rock.
Metal recorded by people who don't love metal sounds like garbage and is a gigantic waste of time. I remember when my band DAWs was coming up and dealing with labels like Roadrunner and Century Media, which by and large were great experiences, but there were so many moving parts. And we didn't really have control over most of them, and that's just how it was. You were part of a big machine, for better or for worse. Fast forward to 2025. Now all of the subgenres are discoverable, and even the most extreme music has the potential to go viral and reach millions of people. You can be the master of your own destiny. You don't need the gatekeepers to let you in. All you need is internet access and a small amount of very affordable gear. But that means that you've got to learn the skills. You're the label, the producer, the marketing department, the mixer, and the musician. Just think about someone like Nolly Getgood. He's a great bass player, for sure, known for his time in Periphery, and he's also an unbelievable guitar player. But on top of that, he's also a world-class producer and mixer, and he's heavily involved in making great plugins with GGD. That's the level of multitasking that thrives today. And if it sounds like a lot, you're right. It is a lot, but the payoff is direct access to your fans and your vision unfiltered. This new approach allows for a middle class of musicians to exist, making a living in ways that used to be basically impossible off of music that used to be just on the fringes. And the big question is, what exactly is the key to taking advantage of this new paradigm? You've only got so many hours in the day, so what should you invest your time into? First up, and this is huge for metal, but you should understand production. You need to know how to capture your sound. And this isn't just about saving money on studio time, even though that's a good plus, especially because quality interfaces are so cheap these days. This is about creative control from the get-go. But why is it so necessary? It's because metal is a producer's genre. The crushing guitar tones, super fast tempos, drums that are full of blast beats and double bass, but still super clear and punchy. The layered vocals, bass that needs to be felt but also heard and is also distorted. That's all meticulously crafted. This doesn't just happen by plugging into an amp or amp sim and hitting record. This is the difference between a raw and farty DI and that tight aggressive tone that you would hear on a Gojira record. The transformation from raw to sick, that's production. In some other genres, production isn't so much of a thing. Like for singer-songwriters, you could just put one or two SF57s in front of someone with their acoustic guitar, and that's all it needs to be. But metal doesn't work like that. It needs to be sculpted in order to cut through and have impact. Otherwise, you're going to be left with an unlistenable wall of noise. If you can't demo your ideas effectively and capture the essence of that intensity, or even take them to a near finished state where the arrangement and basic sonic direction are clear, you're at a massive disadvantage. You can't fully realize your vision if you're relying on someone else to just get it from a poorly recorded riff or a vague description. They'll be filling in a lot of blanks, and those blanks might not match what's in your head.
This is where it starts to get really stupid.
but maybe.
Knowing your way around a DAW, and it doesn't matter which one, Pro Tools, Cubase, Logic, Reaper, whatever, just pick one, and then learning some basics of recording, mixing, editing, drum programming, the stuff we teach at URM Academy, this stuff empowers you. You can experiment, you can iterate, you can get your song sounding killer in your own space, on your own time, before anyone even hears them. You can get your vision out without the middleman. Think about guys like Buster Odeholm. He started out doing it all himself in his bedroom, honing his craft, and now he's in 3 bands that are totally killing it and one of the most in-demand mixers in metal. On a personal level, when I started DAWs, learning to record our own stuff wasn't a luxury. It was out of pure necessity. There were basically no affordable local studios that had any experience with extreme music. And learning to record changed my life. It allowed me to get DAWs off the ground. It allowed me to make a living off of recording bands, eventually working at Audiohammer, and ultimately starting URM Academy. And to be clear, I'm not talking about being the next Will Putney or Dave Otero overnight. That takes years, decades even. But having some solid home recording and basic mixing skills in this day and age, that's non-negotiable if you're serious. The benefits are speed, creative control, and it's cost effective. You can get your music out faster and sounding better without breaking the bank. Plus, and this is a big one, but understanding the mixing process helps you become a better writer and a better musician because you start to hear how all the pieces fit together. You start writing parts for the mix, and this is what Nail the Mix is all about. Deconstructing that pro sound so that you can apply it for yourself. Which brings me to my next point. You should really invest a whole lot of your time, if not the majority of your time, into being the best songwriter arranger you can possibly be. This might seem obvious, duh, I'm a musician, of course I write songs, but it's more than just stringing riffs together. It's understanding song structure, dynamics, how to build tension in a release, arrangement. How do all those layers in a Flesh God Apocalypse or Devin Townsend song actually work together without sounding like a complete mess? It's not random, I promise you.
I think a lot of what I've experienced in the past when I've been working with mixing engineers and producers is a lot of the things that make other music sound really badass compromises the arrangement.
This means thinking beyond your own instrument, beyond your own part. How does the bass support that guitar riff? Where should the vocals sit to make the chorus explode? When does that blast beat need to give way to something with more groove? And this is critical because taking your raw ideas and being able to build them into compelling songs that engage people from start to finish, well, that's the difference between hobbyists and pros. Stronger songs equal more impactful music equals more fans.
Real musicians say, wow, this is too easy for me. I like the hard stuff, but this probably won't get stuck in your head.
Let's talk about marketing and content creation. This is where a lot of musicians drop the ball hard. You can make the most amazing, groundbreaking metal album ever, but if nobody knows that it exists, what's the point? You got to be your own hype machine, your own street team, your own publicist. No one's going to care about your music more than you do. And this is vital because in 2025, attention is currency. The internet allows for discoverability, but you're also competing with Netflix, video games, TikTok, everything. You need to know how to build a brand, how to engage an audience, and how to promote your music effectively in a crowded online world. And this means understanding basic social media strategy, not just posting new song out or big things coming soon, but creating engaging content. It means looking at your analytics to see what's working. It means maybe even learning some simple video editing for promo clips, lyric videos, or playthroughs, which leads me to my next point. Video is king, period. And look, you don't need a Hollywood budget or some big crew for everything, but you've got to create engaging video content because this is how fans connect with music in 2025. This is how they'll find you. YouTube's a massive music discovery platform. Actually, it's the second biggest search engine globally. So think about it like this. What's more likely to get your attention? A static image with your song or a well-shot playthrough showcasing your skills? Even simple, well-edited phone footage works if the content's good. Learning basic video editing on free software like DaVinci Resolve or phone apps is a huge advantage that pays off.
We did everything on our own. It looked good and it had a good vibe, but it was not a $1 million production, We had a nice girl on roller skates. We had a friend with a Ferrari. We had some palm trees and that's it, some lighting, some fog, and then perform as it was the last day of your life.
Lastly, the final thing that you should invest your time into, and this isn't going to be a very long section. If you want to see entire videos about just this topic, let me know in the comments. But if you're serious about growing your career, you're no longer just a musician or producer. You're running a small business. You need to understand how to manage finances, even if it's just the band fund and merch money, how to read and understand basic contracts, how to set realistic goals and create a plan to achieve them. Networking is a business skill. Professionalism is a business skill, and that's what gets you longevity. This is what allows you to turn your passion into something that can actually support you, even if it's not making you a millionaire or buying you a private jet. It's about making smart decisions for your music career, thinking strategically, and not just hoping for the best. Now, you're probably wondering how to make all those things work together, and that's actually the beauty of wearing all these hats. When you get these things working together, they amplify each other. Knowing how to mix, even basically, helps you write better parts for a mix. You start thinking about sonic space, how the guitar will fit with the bass, how the drums are going to punch through. Understanding marketing and what resonates with an audience can help you make better decisions about your merch designs and your visuals. Being able to produce your own demos quickly and effectively means you can experiment more freely as a songwriter. Try out crazy ideas without waiting for studio time or someone else's schedule. And if you're good enough to record and mix for other people, well, that's a great way to network and make friends in the scene, which will help your band. And if your band becomes more popular, more people are going to want to record and mix with you. Again, just think about Buster Odeholm. And this right here is the real power, because you're no longer dependent on a chain of middlemen to get your vision out to the world. You have the tools, and you can acquire the knowledge to conceive your music, create it, record it, mix it, package it, market it, and deliver it directly to the people who want to hear it. You can take it from start to finish on your own if you want. That's incredible freedom. That's what it means to be an artist in 2025. I get that all of this might sound overwhelming, especially if you're just starting out or you've only just focused on your own instrument, but you don't need to become a master of all these things overnight. The key is to pick one or two areas that you think will make an immediate positive impact on your music career and just fucking start. You want some concrete first steps for recording and DAW basics? You know, you can download a free DAW. Seriously, there's some great ones out there like Reaper, or a cheap one like Cubase Elements, and you can make great sounding stuff from your bedroom now. URM Academy has tons of resources for that, by the way. If you're just starting out, you should check out Recording for Beginners with Buster Odeholm. And in my opinion, your first goal should be just learn to record a clean DI guitar signal and program a basic simple drum beat. That's it. Master that, then move on. For video editing, grab DaVinci Resolve. It's pro-grade software and it's free. Don't be intimidated. Film yourself playing a cool riff on your phone, import it, learn how to do basic cuts, maybe add some text with the song title. Boom. You've got promo content for your Instagram or TikTok. Doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. For social media, don't try to be everywhere at once. Pick one platform where you think your target audience hangs out. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook groups, whatever, and then learn to use it consistently. Post regularly, even if it's just once or twice a week to start. And most importantly, engage with comments. Talk to people. The absolute key here is consistent learning, and crucially, most crucially, the most important thing above everything else is execution. Don't just watch tutorials. Do the thing, and don't be afraid to suck, because look, everybody sucks at first. You got to suck in order to get better. The ones who get good, they're the ones who keep learning and doing. And if you have a computer and internet access, there's literally nothing holding you back. So, is being a professional musician or producer in 2025 more work than it used to be? Yeah, probably, no doubt about it. But the artistic freedom and the fact that you can get rewarded for that freedom, that's amazing. Now, I'm curious, what's one musical skill that you've learned that's helped your music career massively? And what's one thing that you're learning about right now that you're super excited about? Let us know in the comments. Share some knowledge. And of course, if you want to deep dive into the production, mixing, and guitar mastery side of things to really learn how to make your metal sound massive, you know where to find us. urm.academy and nailthemix.com. All the links are in the description below. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share for more no bullshit insights about the world of making metal. Now go make some killer music.